आधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the Bhagavad Gita Sarartha Varshini Tika and the Rasik Ranjan, which is a sub commentary to the Sarartha Varshini by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We have discussed Krishna's relationship with the souls and the material energy. He is Udasin Vad Asinam. And he's Maya Dakshina. He's just a director sitting, and things are happening because he's seated in the material energy. Without his sanction, nothing will happen. So this is his relation. And now we saw those who understand Krishna in various ways. The impersonalists mistake Krishna's body to be material. Avajananti mamuda manusham tanumashrita. Not understanding param bhava jananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. That all the jivas from Brahma, they all come from me. I am the creator of everyone. I am the Maheshwara. They don't understand this. And what is their result also? We saw Mogasha, Mokarmano, Mog Jnana Vicheshata. Mogasha means, we saw it is the apparent devotees who desire the spiritual world. And Mokarmana means Karmakandis. And Mo means Jnanis who desire moksha. All will be what? Getting a big negative result. So we saw this. So now I mentioned also the concept of what these Mayavadis think. They think the Lord's Ishwar, who descends in this world as avatars, he is a product of Maya. And the highest absolute truth is impersonal Brahman. So then those who understand Krishna, as he has explained in verses 4 and 10, then understand the inconceivable relation of Krishna in this of with relation to the material world, and they practice Ananya Bhakti, the Kevala Bhaktas. So the Kevala Bhaktas are spoken in these two verses. So in one sense, these two verses also speak about Kevala Bhakti. Now, up till now in the Bhagavad Gita, up till now, that means till 9.13. Okay, 1 minute. Let me connect my writer. I have been recording it. So, yeah. So, up till now in the Bhagavad Gita, which are the verses which have spoken about Ananya Bhakti? Let us see. In the middle 6 chapters, which are the verses? Anyone would like to tell which are the verses which spoke about Ananya Bhakti? Who will answer? Beginning from the 7th chapter till 9.13. Which are the verses which spoke about Ananya Bhakti? I hope I've been seeing all the devotees regularly come for this discussion. I hope by now you should be very thorough with this. Yes, Bir Krishnaji.
Hare Krishna Bhagavad Gita. So 7.1,
7.1. Then
8.14,
8.14. Huh?
and then now this 9.22 also it is there. It will be coming up.
No, we are not yet come there. Na? I told 7 till 9.13, 14. 9.13 and 14.
9.22 is there.
9.22, we have not yet come there.
Yes, yes,
Up
yes.
till here, I said. Yes. So devotees note down, these two verses also speak about Ananya Bhakti. There is some distraction in the background. The fortunate souls, Mahatmana, attaining divine nature, Daivim Prakritim Ashrita. Attaining Deva nature also refers to, Prabhupada directly says, take shelter of the internal potency of the Lord, the Antaranga Shakti. Worship my human form with no distractions. Bhadante Ananya Manaso. So this Ananya Manasa is very, very important now. Bhajante Ananya Manasa. And knowing that my human-like body is the cause of all things. Gyatva Bhut Adim is indestructible, available, and fully spiritual. So the Mahatmas understand Krishna's human-like body is the cause of all things. And it is, indestructible and it is fully spiritual. So these are, two extremes are being spoken. One is 9.11. What is happening? I don't know why this is happening. 9.11 and 12. These are the one extreme. This is the other extreme is 9.13 and 9.14. The in between are another category, which are of three varieties. That will come in 9.15. When it comes, we'll take. So the one extreme, they think the human form is Maya. The Shyam Sundar. And this human form is what? Bhutadim. And it is Avyayam. It is fully spiritual. So these are the Mahatmas in one sense. So like that, now the other extreme is being spoken here. So in 9.13, the internal characteristics of the devotee are given. In 9.14, the external characteristic of a devotee are given. Now, 9.13 speaks about Daivi Prakriti. Bhakti proper is constituted of the entrance of Krishna's divine Shakti, Swarup Shakti, in the heart of the individual soul. So when the Shakti enters, that is sadhana bhakti. Rupa Goswami has explained this with the word Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryancha Samibhat. So sadhana bhakti is also, what? Ahetuki and apratiyata. It's continuous. And even sadhya bhakti, only, the names are different. One is unripe mango, another is ripe mango. So this is Daivi Prakriti, another deeper meaning of it. Okay, let's see Vishwanath Chakravarti what he has to say. But those men who attain greatness by unpredictable mercy of my devotees attain the nature of devas, Daivim Prakritim, rather than asuras, and worship me in my human-like form. So they attain the nature of deva, Daivim. Krishna will speak of the Daivi Asura Sampada in the 16th chapter. The divine qualities are favorable for liberation. The demonic are, unfavorable and they cause bondage. So they attain the divine nature by worshipping Krishna. And they get qualities also of Krishna and including all the devas. Their minds do not dwell on such things as desires for jnana or karma. Ananya manasa. They are anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karma de anavritam. By knowledge of my powers, maya tadam idam sarvam, they know that I am the cause of all the unlimited bodies starting with Brahma. Bhutadim aware. So this knowledge, which is given in 9.4 to 9.10, leads to pure devotion. So that's why one should repeatedly study 9.4 to 9.10. Please don't take it lightly, because that knowledge which is given in 9.4 to 9.10 leads ultimately to pure devotion, Ananya Bhakti. They know that I am indestructible, Avyam, since I have body of Sachidananda. For understanding that I am worthy of worship, they should have at least this much knowledge of me. At least this much knowledge they should have. Knowing this, Gyatva, they worship me. It is to be understood that this bhakti, which is not dependent on karma or gyan, which aim at realization, of Atma, karma and gyan aim at realization of Atma, and which is exclusively centered on the Lord, is the best of all, the king of knowledge, the king of secrets. Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam. So Raj Vidya, Raj Guhyam actually is glorifying Ananya Bhakti. It's glorifying Ananya Bhakti. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. O Partha, great souls are those who have attained Vidvat Pratita. Pratiti. Vidvat Pratiti. Proper perception of an object based on transcendental knowledge. Taking shelter of the divine nature, they become exclusively devoted to me, Ananya. In other words, they become indifferent to attainment of insignificant fruits of material karma and to dry knowledge in the form of monism. They worship me with the understanding that my form as Krishna is the source of all living entities and that is indestructible. This is exactly what even Vishnu Thakur said. Bhutadim and Avyayam. Okay. Prabhupada's purport is very relevant and one should study this. Very important points Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drida vrata namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. They worship me at all times. Satatam mam upasate. How? Bhaktya, with devotion in the form of singing about me, Kirtayanto, having strict vows, Dridhavrata, desiring to be my associates, Nitya Yukta, wandering about to gain association, Yadantanta, and offering unto me respects as well as other devotional acts. Namasyante Chutumam Bhaktya. Okay. Dridhavrata. Now, Dridhavrata, in the material world, they are sadhakas. By their bhajan, they overcome their conditionings. And the siddhas overcome material circumstances. And in the spiritual world, the siddhas out of love wanting to do maximum service. Radharani, it said that, when she's cooking for Krishna, she has 100 chulas. All simultaneously, she is running from one chula to another chula cooking for Krishna. So that is, out of love, they do this. So this is Dhrida Vrata. Okay. In the last verse, it was mentioned that they worship me. What type of worship do they perform? They worship always, not in as in Karma Yoga, which is dependent on suitable time, place, person, and purity for its execution. The Smriti says, "Na desha niyamastatra na kala nimastata no chishtado nishedosti Shri Harer namni lubdaka." For one who is eager to take the name of Hari, there is no restriction of time, place, or impurity. Vishnu Dharma. Just as poor householders strive for money at the door of a wealthy man in order to support their families, my devotees seek out yatanti, the assembly of devotees. What a beautiful example, na? Very wonderful, apt example. Like poor people always seek the you know door of the wealthy people. So the devotees seek out assembly of devotees so that they can obtain the wealth of devotion. In order to obtain devotional process like chanting. Attaining that, they repeatedly recite the scriptures teaching bhakti. So they repeatedly recite scriptures. So if we want to understand scriptures, we should repeatedly read the scriptures. Okay. NOI, NOD, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, CC. Let us take a vote now. How many times we should read NOI? Who will answer? How many times we should read NOI? How many of you, all of you want Shuddha Bhakti? Raise your hands. Want to at least have the desire to practice Shuddha Bhakti? Okay. Vinuta Mataji has not raised her hand. Okay, yes. Okay, now you can lower your hand. So now, let's see. NOI, how many times you should read? Anyone? I am writing in the bracket here now. Every year once you should read. NOD every 3 years once, at least, minimum. Bhagavad Gita, at least 15 to 25 times till you get mastery of the subject. Bhagavatam daily, and the entire Bhagavatam at least, we should try for at least, because many congregation devotees are saying, at least I am saying 2 to 3 times. CC also daily, and at least in the lifetime we should finish it at least 5 times. CC. Then this kind of Ananya Bhakti we can think of. I'm just giving a rough hint. It's not given in any Shastra, but based on some experience, I'm saying, you know, it requires that we study, more and more we hear this Shastra. Every day, if anyone is hearing Bhagavatam, he's reading the Bhagavatam and he's hearing the class. CC, we should make some efforts because then we can understand Mahaprabhu's mercy. They have strict rules for themselves, Vridavrata, thinking, I must do this number of rounds of chanting, this many obeisance, this many service. They offer their obeisances. The word cha indicates that they also perform all the other processes of bhakti, such as hearing and serving the lotus feet, which are not mentioned in the verse. They desire to be in eternal association with me, Nitya Yukta. There is a rule that desire can be expressed by the past tense. Here, the past tense expresses the present condition of desiring. So, this is something to do with Nitya Yukta, it's past tense. So, it expresses the present condition that I am desiring. Ramanuja gives the same meaning. Singing about me, they worship me. This parallel construction indicates that the singing and other acts are their form of worship. Thus, there is no fault in repetition of the word Mam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Mahatmas who are endowed with Vidvat Pratiti and who thus understand me properly always perform kirtan of my name, form, qualities, and pastimes. That is, they follow the 9 limbs of bhakti, such as hearing and chanting, with determined vows in order to attain eternal service to my eternal, all cognizant, and all blissful Shyam Sundar form. They perform all activities, bodily, mental, social, or spiritual, with the sole determination of pleasing me. Now, this is very interesting. They perform all activities, even bodily, mental, spiritual, with the sole determination. They surrender to me by the process of Bhakti Yoga, even while living in this material world. This ensures that their minds do not become disturbed by materialistic activities. So that ends about the Keval Bhaktas. Now we'll come to the third type. Those who understand Krishna in other ways, and this is in verse 15, there are 3 types: the Angropasaka, the Pratikopasaka, and the Vishwarupasaka, Upasana. Angaropasana, Pratikopasana, and Vishwarupasana. This is verse 15. So, before I start verse 15, the next subsection in the third section, if you have any questions, I can take it up. Yes, Navneet Kalra Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam.
Yes.
Prabhuji, regarding the verse number 13, I think, the Devim Prakritam, it was said about the Devas. Are they Mishra Bhaktas in Sattva?
Well, it depends. We cannot say for sure. Sometimes, Indra might be a mixed devotee. The next Indra is who?
Uh, Bali Maharaj,
No. So, what do you say about Bali Maharaj? He's a
he is
mixed
a Shuddha
devotee.
Bhakta.
Then. So, we
No,
cannot
but
say. We cannot
okay.
say, no. One thing we have to understand that, the Lord has all the transcendental qualities. And the Devas possess some of the qualities, and that's why they have these qualities, and they are rulers, that may administrative rulers. And these are vibhutis of the Lord. So the devotee who takes shelter of the Lord, all these qualities will manifest,
Okay,
which are in
Prabhuji.
the Lord and even in the Devas.
Okay.
Is it
Thank you,
okay?
Prabhuji. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any other questions anyone else has? Yes, Bir Krish Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, this yatantasya dridavata, this is indicating Naistiki Bhakti.
Definitely. Definitely. As long as, one one is under the Bairanga, one is under the influence of the modes, then, he cannot practice Dridavata because the modes, pull him down. So in Naishtiki Bhakti, the influence of the modes is practically subsided. Tada rajastamo bhava kamalobhadasche chetete ranavidam stitvam sattve prasidati. So that's why he's, in one sense, he's able to do Dridhavrata bhajan. Yes, yesham to antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvanda moha nirmukta bhajante ma Dridhavrata.
Dridavata.
So there, that yesham to antagatam papam refers to also the destruction of Sukrituta Anartha, Dushrituta Anartha. So that Nashta Prayashva Bhadreshu has happened. That's why he's able to become free from the dualities of passion and ignorance, Ichcha and Dvesh. And that's why he's very Dridhavrata in his bhajan. Yes, definitely it refers to that.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Any other questions you have regarding this section? So we'll go now to the next section. We will discuss 9.15 is a very, very critical verse which unfolds the next three chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, please hear this very carefully. Jnana yagyena chapyanne yajanto mamupasate ekatvena pratatvena bahuda vishvatomukam. Others worship me. Anya mam upasate. Now, please mark this. Anya upasate. They worship me. Whereas Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita of his Ananya Bhaktas, what is the term he had used? Anyone knows? Yes, Bir Krishnoji.
He says Mahatma.
Mahatmanam sumam partha devim prakristi mashita bhajante.
Bhajante.
He had used the word bhajante. Here it is upasate.
Yes, yes.
Here it is bhajante. This is not there, I think. Here it is upasate. That's a difference in 9.15. So this is, you have to see here this. So this is in 9.14. All right. Through knowledge sacrifices. Gyan yagyena yajanti. And it is, Gyan yagyena chapya anne. Yajanto mam upasate. They worship whom? Krishna only. But by the Gyan yagya. Not by bhakti. That's why bhajante is not used. But there is bhakti. So that's why that this bhakti is mixed bhakti. Please remember. Thinking of themselves as non-different from me, ekatvena. So they worship through yagya, gyan yagyana, knowledge sacrifices, thinking of themselves to be non-different from me, ekatvena. worshipping me. Yajante mam. They worship me in many different forms. Prataktvena, the many different forms of demigods. Okay, Prataktvena. And worshipping me, again, Krishna, Yajante mam. No? Thinking themselves as non-different from me. Worshipping me as the universe in many ways. Bahuda Vishwato Mukham. So I hope please try to understand this verse. So the Gyan Yagya is what? Vishwarupa Upasana. Vishwato Mukham. Material meditation tool to reach the absolute truth. The Pratik Upasana is Prataktvena Bahuda, or Bahuda Vishwato Mukham you can take, Prataktvena Bahuda also you can take. Both it is applicable. Prataktvena Bahuda or Bahuda Vishwato Mukham. For both it can, this Prataktvena Bahuda, you can take like this and you can take like this also. For this Bahuda will apply to both. Prataktvena Bahuda, demigods as symbol of Brahman. The absolute truth is Brahman, Mam, Krishna, and the demigods are the symbol. And Angrupasana, Ekatvena, not Mayavadis because they do not offend Krishna's form. This is Ekatvena. These are the Gyanis, Brahmavadis. So there's the Brahmavadis and there is the Mayavadis. So these are not Mayavadis. Mayavadis have been dealt in 7.24 and 9.11, and their destination is also indicated in 9.12. Okay, so there are these Mayavadis, they commit offense to the form of God, whereas the Brahmavadis, there is no offense. So that's what, we said. So within these Brahmavadis, in Brahmavadis, there is Brahmopasakas, which is dealt in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12. Who is superior? One who worships the all-pervading Brahman or one who worships you? Arjuna is asking Krishna. And there he establishes how one who worships Krishna is superior to one who worships Brahman. Right? They are the Brahmavadis. One who worships the all-pervading spirit. And the Vishwarup Upasakas are little lower than the Brahma Upasakas. And this is dealt in the chapter 11. So Ekatveda is chapter 11. Vishwato Mukham is dealt in 9.16 to 19. And further it is dealt in chapter 11. The Vishwarupa Yoga, chapter 11. And then in chapter 10, these vibhutis are mentioned. So Prataktvena is just dealt in 9.20 and 21. And their destination, everything is dealt here. And the comparison, Krishna will do that in the coming verses. So chapter 9, ultimately will establish pure devotion. Chapter 10, how, in the Prataktvena worship, how all these devatas, vibhutis are coming from the Lord only, we see. And the vibhutis, the form of the Lord which holds all these demigods, is the Vishwarup. So the Vishwarup Upasana in chapter 11 is being dealt, and in chapter 12 it is the Brahma Upasana. So that's how the flow of Bhagavad Gita you can see now. Okay. Thus, in this chapter and the previous chapter, the Ananya Bhakta, also called as the Mahatma, in Bhagavad Gita 8.15, it is mentioned Mamupete Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam Napnuvanti Mahatmana Samsiddhim Paramam Gata. So Mahatma is mentioned. So Mahatma is also referred. So 8.15 is also speaking about that pure devotee. Is shown to be superior to the other devotees, such as the one who approaches Lord to get rid himself of suffering. Now the Lord shows three other types of devotees who have not been mentioned previously, who are inferior. Please mark this. who are inferior to the previously mentioned ones. One is those who worship themselves, those who worship Pratika, secondary forms, and those who worship Vishwarup. So there are three other types of devotees apart from the ones mentioned previously. So which all are the ones which are mentioned previously? Let us see how well you remember now the flow of 7th and 8th chapter. Which are the ones which are mentioned previously? Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then
Yes.
Prabhuji Pradhan Bhuta Bhaktas.
Pradhani Bhuta
Pradhani
Bhaktas.
Bhuta Bhaktas.
Pradhani Bhukta Bhaktas, but what? Karma is Pradhan, Gyan is Pradhan, Yoga is Pradhan. Where it is dealt in.
Bhakti and Karma, no Prabhuji together. Bhakti and
Mataji,
Jnana.
in the 7th chapter we studied, right? We studied.
Kevala Bhaktas. One is Kevala Bhaktas.
No, Mataji, you are not getting the question then.
Okay.
We are not speaking about Kevala Bhaktas here. We are speaking about Mishra Bhaktas. Which all Mishra Bhaktas have been spoken previously. Those who surrender and those who don't surrender. Who are they? Who are they mentioned? Those who surrender.
That 7.15th verse, no Prabhuji?
7.15. Yes. 7.16.
Yes, 7.15, 16, yes.
Yes.
The
What are
four
those?
categories who go to the Lord.
Yeah. So what are they then? What are they?
I have to refer Prabhuji, I don't remember.
Okay. No problem. We understand. Not a problem. But you have got a good idea now.
Yes, but it is 7.16. Who go to the Lord.
Yeah.
Jigyasu, Artha, Arthati, and Jnana.
Yeah, but what category they fall in? What are the terms used?
Artha is superior. No.
No, the three categories are all Sakama Bhaktas.
Sakam Bhaktas. Yes, Prabhuji.
What they are called? Karma Mishra Bhakti.
Karma Mishra Bhakti, Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti, Guna Bhuta Bhakti.
No. You're all putting everything, you're jumbling and confusing us.
Oh my God.
If you don't know, please say no, don't know. Vinuta Mataji, yes.
Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam Prabhuji. It is Mishra Bhakta.
Mishra Bhakta, yes, that is a generic term. Karma Mishra, Jnana Mishra, which are those?
It is mixed, Prabhuji. Somebody is inquisitive who wants
No.
who is a
Yeah,
gnani.
whether they fall in Karma Mishra Bhakti or Jnana Mishra Bhakti, you have to tell us in that 7.16.
Jnana Mishra Bhakti.
Oh, who are the Jnana Mishra Bhaktas among the four?
Gnani.
Jnani is Jnana Mishra Bhakta, correct.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Now, what about the other three?
The Karma Mishra Bhakta.
Jnani is a Jnana Mishra Bhakti. And the three, Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi are Karma.
Karma Mishra Bhakti.
Then what all mixed bhakti is discussed in the 7th and 8th chapter?
It can be multi-dimensional. I mean, it can be Karma Mishra, Jnana Mishra, or Karma Jnana Mishra.
Where all this is discussed in the 8th chapter? I have not discussed, Baba. Neither Vishwanath Thakur has discussed.
I'm sorry, Prabhuji.
Yes, Navneet Kalra Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, verses 20 to 25, those who surrender to other than Krishna.
That is Krishnetara. No, they are not coming in Pradhani Bhut Bhakti at all. Don't worry about that. Mixed Bhakti, which are again further. I forgot all this. They spent quite a long time, lot of time in 7th chapter.
For the Yoga Mishra, who's a Mokshakami Jnanis.
Yes, the Yoga Mishra Bhakta which is dealt in the 8th chapter. And there is another Sakam Bhakta who desires moksha.
Mokshakami Jnani.
He's a moksha kami. So there is
Yeah, in
4 Sakamas.
29th.
He has 7 point
7.29 to 30.
29 to 30. So this is the Jnana Mishra Bhakta 1. This is the 4 categories of, and then there is the 1.
Yoga Mishra.
So 1, 4, 5, 6. So let's see what Vishnu Madhusudan Saraswati explained the verse as follows. These others are unable to practice the sadhana of the Mahatma mentioned previously. Yoga Mishra, correct. Okay, what happened? 1 second. Something got cut, I think. Purport. 1 second. Just a minute. Let me see the original book purport. Just a minute. I'm opening the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, correct. It is correct. Okay. They worship by the sacrifice of knowledge, jnana yajna, mentioned in the Shruti in this way. Tvam va aham asmi, bhagavo devata aham vai tvam asi. This is in the Shrutins. O Lord, I am you and you are I. Tvam vaha aham asmi. Bhagavo devata aham vai tvam asi. So like that. In the Vara Upanishads, I have never heard that there is a Vara Upanishads also. They worship solely by the process of knowledge, jnana yajna. They are not practicing bhakti yajna, which is Shravanam Kirtanam, in which they identify themselves with God. So this is Ekatvena, Pratatvena or Bahuta Vishwatumekam, which is being described here. Yes, Navneet Kalra Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Ekatva.
Ekatvena. Thus it is called Jnana Yajna. That is why it is called as Jnana Yajna. Cha means only and api indicates that they give up other practices. Jnana Yajna, chapya, cha api. Chapya means only. The only is Jnana Yajna. Api means they give up these other practices. Thus the meaning is, some not desiring any other form of sadhana worship me through the sacrifice of knowledge, Jnana Yajna. Denying difference, Ekatvena, simply by contemplating on the non-difference of the worshipper and the object of worship, Ekatvena. They are the best of the 3 types. But some acharyas say they are the worst of the 3 types also. Among the 3, he is the last. But here Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, gives a different understanding. Note, this is Madhusudan Saraswati's opinion, not the Vaishnava philosophy. So this is Madhusudan Saraswati. His opinion, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. Inferior to this type are others who, thinking of difference, Pratatvena, inferior to the Ekatvena, between the worshipper and the object of worship me through sacrifice of knowledge in different external forms, devatas representing the Lord. According to the Shruti statements such as Adityo Brahmeti Adesha, the sun is Brahman. This is the instruction, Chandogya Upanishad. So, they worship the sun, Devata, and they understand that within the sun who is a Devata, Surya Narayan, he is a what? They have this knowledge that he is representing the Lord. He is an aspect of Brahman. Brahman here means the absolute truth, we have mentioned. Others who are inferior to that, inferior to Prataktvena, are unable to worship either in non-difference or difference. Worship me as the soul of all. Vishvatomukam, Vishwarupa, by many methods. Bahuda means by many methods. So there are many methods. Oh, everything in this universe, na? This Prabhupada calls it as pantheism in the Bhagavatam. So through many different methods, they worship that all this, it is ultimately the Lord only. Like when you see the examples in the verses spoken, it becomes more clear. According to the Tantric idea, one who does not identify with the Devata cannot worship that Deva. Na Devo Devam Archayet. This is quoted in Tattva and Bhakti Sandarbhas as well. Such worship in which one thinks I am Gopal is called Aham Angropasana, Aham Grahanopasana. Aham means I am Gopal. The worship of vibhutis of the Lord, taking one and worshipping separately, is called Pratikopasana. Pratikopasana. So that one worship Devata like sun god, they take that and worship him separately, but again, he is coming from Vishnu only. These Devatas are representative of Vishnu, the absolute Brahman. So there is a subtle difference in worshipping the Devatas as mentioned in the 7th chapter, verse 20 to 23, that whole series. There the conception is that the demigods are supreme and they are nothing to do with Vishnu. Or there can be many other conceptions, but they are supreme. They are individual gods, as though gods are having competition with each other, for the post. But there is no competition among gods, But this is the conception. But here the conception is that these devtas are an aspect of Brahman. In such worship, the person sings, the Supreme Lord Vishnu is not different from sun. He is not different from Andra. He is not different from Soma. I explained this. These are the three types of Jnana Yajna. So Jnana Yajna Chapanne. These are three types. Or the meaning of Ekatvena Pratatvena can mean the two states. I am Gopal, oneness. I am the servant of Gopal, difference, are simultaneously contemplated by one person, just like the river going to the ocean is different and non-different from the ocean. So he gives another meaning for Etatvena Pratatvena. In this case, there is only two types of Jnana Yajna. Etatvena Pratatvena is taken as one. Note, the other worshipper would be the worship of Vishwarup. So this is another meaning to the entire verse. Okay, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Oh Arjuna, superior to those devotees who worship me out of distress are the exclusive devotees who are known as Mahatmas. So there are these Mishra Bhaktas and the Shuddha Bhaktas. I have described the devotees who approach me in various ways out of distress. Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi, Jnani. Now I'll explain the three other types of devotees who are inferior to them and whom I have not yet mentioned. So now I just want to, okay, in the end I finish, I will. Learned scholars call these three types of worshippers Aham Graha Upasaka. Aham means I am Gopal, Upasaka. Pratik Upasana and Vishwarupa Upasaka. Aham Graha Upasaka are superior to the other two. This is also what Vishnu Thakur says. They call themselves Bhagavan with this, and with this ego they perform worship. There is a subtle difference, between I'm a spirit, at least in that sense it is spiritual, one with, Bhagavan. That is the oneness that is the Gyanis, right? This mentality or ignorance is one type of yagya for worshipping Parmeshwar. The Ahamgra Upasaka worships Brahman, the featureless aspect of the absolute, while performing this yagya with a conception of oneness with Brahma. So this is, please note this. It is oneness with Brahma. Brahma means the absolute truth here, not this is the Chaturmukha Brahma. Please understand that. Conception of oneness with Brahma. Okay, where the pen sometimes. The Pratik Upasakas are inferior to them. They think themselves as separate from Bhagavan and they worship the sun, Indra, etc. But without the understanding that the sun and Indra are only Sri Bhagavan opulences or vibhutis. 1 minute. Something is, I'm feeling the statement is, while typing, some mistake must have happened. Let me see. Okay. The aham nahi hai. Ahang, N is there and by mistake. That is what I was thinking. Hmm. There should be done more. Okay, the next statement. The Ahang Upasakas worship Brahman, the featureless aspect, while performing this yajna with the conception of oneness with Brahman. Pratik Upasakas are inferior to them. They think themselves as separate from Bhagavan and they worship the sun, Indra, Chandra, but without understanding that the sun and Indra are only Bhagavan's opulence or vibhutis. They think of themselves as separate from Bhagavan and they worship the sun, but without the understanding that the sun. They think of themselves as separate from Bhagavan. Yes, here they think themselves as Brahman and they worship the sun, Indra, but without the understanding that sun and Indra are only Sri Bhagavan's opulence or vibhutis. But with the understanding, it should be, I am feeling, because they understand that there are these vibhutis, that is what is making it Prataktvena. Those who are even less intelligent worship Shri Bhagavan in the form of Vishwarup, the universal form. This is correct statement. So there, I'll have to, there should be some editing in the book, I feel. But anyway, I'll confirm that, some printing mistake, I feel. Does Jnana is of three types? Three types. Okay. So, yes, any questions you have up till now, what we have discussed? This is was very important to understand, no? Which unfolds the remaining chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Of course, from the perspective of Aishwarya Gyan and Madhurya Gyan, we have done that flow of the middle six chapters. But from here also, there is some finer understanding of the flow of the other chapters 9, 10, and 11. Yes, Navneet Kalra Mataji.
Prabhuji, could you elaborate on the difference between people in 720 to 25 and Prathakovena here?
Yeah, in 723, 20 to 23, Kamasteste Ritaggyana Prapadyante Anya Devata. Prapadyante means they surrender to these devatas and they don't surrender to Krishna, they surrender to devatas. Now, okay, let me draw and explain so that it becomes very clear. I thought about it that it's a little, I'm very, very poor in drawing. I have to really improve, hopefully. So here is Krishna and here are the devatas. Okay. Now, in the 720 to 23 series, those are Kamastista Ritagyana, they don't surrender to Krishna, but they surrender to the devatas. And they think the devata is the supreme. This is their conception. But in the 9th chapter, 9:15, Prataktvena, which is mentioned, they worship the devatas and the devatas are an aspect of Brahman. So this is 9.15. Prataktvena. That is the difference.
And these are Gyan Mishra, and those are Sakamis.
No, they are not coming in Sakama Bhakti. It is, Karma Kanda, this is.
Karam Kanda. Okay.
Because it is worship of devatas. They are indirectly worshipping the Lord also. Avidhi Purvakam. No? Just like,
So
instead of going to the king, he goes to the ministers. Prabhupada says is bribing, it's cheating. So,
so
and you go to the minister, but you understand that the minister's powers are coming from the king, and you see the connection of the minister with the king. Are you getting this point?
yeah.
So, that's why you have to understand the statement of Vishwanath Chakra Thakur. Yeah, in such worship, the person thinks the Supreme Lord Vishnu is not different from Sun. He is not different from Inda. He is not different from Soma. And what is the mantra you can see here? Adityo Brahmeti Adesha. The sun is Brahman. This is the instruction.
And their destination is Brahmjyoti. They're aspiring for that.
We will go through and then we'll find out what is the
Okay.
destination of the Pratatvena, Ekatvena, and Bahuda Vishwatomukam.
Okay.
We'll find out. We have not yet come to that section. When we
Okay.
come to that section, we will discuss.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Any other questions you have up till now? What we have discussed? I'll stop here because this next section, I can take it up. It's just 2-3 minutes, but I don't want to start a new section. We started at 7:20. We have some time. No, I will take it up tomorrow only because that new section is starting one and a new subject is starting. Let's start fresh because that whole continuation is there in the series of verses. So let's take it up tomorrow. So we'll stop here. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.